YouTube, another Trade Tuesday. Well, I don't know, it's not Tuesday. I suppose I'm not trading. So why am I? Well, I saw a base on Gumtree. Actually, my pal Ronnie, hey Ronnie, sent me a link to a base in Ibanez. It looks like there's at the GAX sort of double cut Les Paul / SG looking. I've seen the guitars, guitars are really good. This was a bass and it was very cheap and it had only been on for 10 minutes. So I messaged for it and then unfortunately I missed it. But the woman at the other end said, oh, I've still got the one with the chip in it. Like, right, so basically she was selling 2 of them and an Ashton bass. So I bought the, yep, got my wallet. I bought the Ashton bass as well and the Ibanez that's got a chip in it. To be honest, the one that I saw first was the one that had a chip in it anyway. It's got like a chunk out the bottom end. At least I hope that's the only damage. I don't know. I'm assuming that they must have been from like maybe a music school, a music room in a school or something like that. So that would explain why you would have 3 sort of moderately cheap basses. The Ashton's kind of sort of looks a bit like a P bass, apart from it doesn't have a scratch plate. So not really sure what to do with that. I'm kind of tempted. I did the bass I did last week from my pal Ivor worked really well, which had a P bass pickup and an EBO pickup, like Billy Sheehan style, both going out separate outputs. And I put a switch in, turned off the EBO pickup, and then split the P bass pickup into stereo. So the top 2 strings went to one output and the bottom 2 strings went to another. So I'm thinking I might do that. Just because the stereo thing worked really well, and I'll maybe work out some way of actually doing it. I might buckify it, I don't know, because it doesn't have a scratch plate. It doesn't have the really obvious paint the body green, paint the scratch plate yellow, put a red pickup in it with the bucky colours. So I'll see how it's going. Oh, actually it's blue, isn't it? So maybe just put an Iron Brew sticker on it, maybe would be the way to go. Yeah, so I'm doing this, it's kind of late at night. Well, it's just after 7. Or just before 7, and it's now the nights are fair drawn in. Oh, the nights are drawn in, because we are quite far north if you're from elsewhere in the world. So in the summer the kind of sun doesn't go down, and in the winter the sun doesn't come up. So when I think the longest day is at the 20th of June, I think, and then the longest night is, I think it's the 20th of December or something like that. That's quite a depressing place round about just before Christmas is Scotland. I seem to remember it. I remember it most when I was at Strathclyde University, and I'd basically go in the morning, it was dark and raining, and then I would be in sort of the one building, or maybe like between lectures, get to see a little bit of daylight between, you know, maybe 2 or 3 times during the day, once for lunch, and then by the time I finished at 4 o'clock it was dark and raining again. So it was just like, there seemed to be like months and months of just no daylight whatsoever. The only daylight you could see, and obviously it's probably different now, but back 20 years ago it was all those horrible fluorescent lights, you know, that kind of slightly flicker, and imperceivably flicker, so it just gives you a sore head, makes you really depressed. Yeah, so not that much fun having the all night, but during the summer it's good. But I remember being out in the boats at, like, when I was a wee boy, going to a place called Newton, where it was a big sandy bay, and still being out swimming and all that, and it was 11 o'clock at night, the sun was still up. Brilliant. It's all to do with the shape of obviously up in Loch Fyne there's no light pollution or anything like that, so well, that doesn't mean the sun doesn't go down. Anyhow, so I don't think I'll really be, I mean, Ayre's got a lovely beach and stuff, which I think I've actually done in one of my other videos, but it's going to be at night, so I don't think there'll be much to see. It's getting dark. It's amazing how quickly it gets dark, actually. I would have said that it's got twice as dark in the 5 minutes since I left the house. I was going to go down and pick it up tomorrow, and then I was like, I got the postcode off the girl, and it was like, it was an hour and 5 minutes at 6 o'clock, and then it must be going through the centre of Glasgow, so now it's down to 59 minutes, so it is a 2-hour drive, but it's not raining, so that was my point. I was just figuring if I was going to go tomorrow, I bet you'd be chucking it down so I wouldn't have got a view anyway. But I might see something exciting. I might actually put petrol in as well. I think I've got enough to go to Ayr and back, but I don't know. I keep seeing on the news this, the petrol thing. I don't really use much. I didn't fill the tank up when I got petrol last week, thinking that's not going to help the panic buying if I just take a full tank. So I just took half a tank, or I took 20 quid. So yeah. So 2 new bases. I don't know with the trade thing. I think I got. I've been getting some good super chats on my Sunday live steam. By the way, if you're not Scottish, steaming is when you're drunk. So I was pure steaming last night, means you were pure drunk, so that's why it's not a misprint when I say live steam. I think maybe I might calm down the booze a little bit. I've got to sort of quite like it on a Sunday night. It's only night of the week I drink, and it's like getting a little bit carried away, and it's like I do tend to wake up in the morning and go, oh God, what did I say last night on the live stream? And it was like, oh, was I singing ABBA songs? And it's like, yes, I think I was. Oh, I don't know. But I mean, I kind of do that so everyone laughs at me. Really. I mean, yes, I'm not being particularly sensible or clever, but I don't mind being laughed at. As long as I'm doing something stupid, I don't like getting laughed at for when I'm trying to be serious, which is just not what a live stream's for, or not what my live stream's for. Yeah, so I don't know if I'll be back on again in this video. I might actually do a wee video when I get back up the road with the 2 guitars, just when they get them out. Annoyingly, the girl was selling 2. Girl, is that sexist? The woman, the lady, the female, I don't know. Or it could be maybe it's a whatever, non-gender specific person. There we go. The person had two of the Ibanez basses, and one of them, as I said, had a chunk out it and only had 3 strings, and the other one had 4 strings and didn't have a chunk out it. And they're both the same price. So it's like, you would have thought that even if you didn't know anything about guitars, you know, having 2 exactly the same, you're going to put the one that's got 4 strings and it doesn't have a chunk out it for an extra £5, aren't you? I would have, but there we go. We don't know. Right, and I've actually taken my dinner with me. I made a baguette, a roll. We're driving down, seeing as I'm actually missing dinner. It's like one of those things with guitars. I mean, I can appreciate it. You get it quite a lot when I fix someone's guitar. It's like, yeah, you can pick up tomorrow, and they're always like, oh, in and out, oh, my new guitar, oh, are my guitar working? Exciting. Rocket! So that's we got the navigate to recent destination. Home. Okay. Yes. Okay. So yeah, got the 2 bases. Both look alright. I wondered if it was from a school, but apparently it was the people who owned the house before. The guy passed away, and it was just someone's pal just told him to just get rid of them. So I think they could have got an awful lot more than what they asked, but actually was a nice cheery woman anyway. That was nice when you meet people who are all smiles. Tried to do that myself. Had the usual panic sitting there. Well, I messaged to say I was going to be 5 minutes early anyway, but you get there and the house very much looks like nobody was in. You know, not a light on, no car in the drive. It's like you're chapping on it in a way. Rang the bell, didn't hear it ring, waited a couple of minutes, chapped the door, nothing happened. Went back out to the car and then read it was number 4, not number 2. So that was a bit better. Yeah, there was actually another couple of guitars there as well. There was a Squire Strat sitting there with one of those, I don't know what it's called, you know the thing with the coloured switches on it which kind of hold down chords? For someone who can't play the guitar, you know, you can hold down, I don't know, I assume it gives you like a D and an A and a G and stuff like that. Like a sort of a Perspex plastic thing with wee buttons on it. But he didn't want to sell that. I think it was maybe her husband or something like that. Yeah. So, nice wee trip down to Ayr. The pity there's absolutely zero scenery. It's raining a little bit, but only just. But obviously when you're doing 60 mile an hour on the motorway, it's that comes in a lot. Just enough to keep my windscreen wipers making that noise. You know, not enough water to make them go smoothly, so they have to go every time. I'm looking at the Ibanez base, just wondering if there's something wrong with the bridge. No. Yeah, often when you get a guitar that's got a string missing, or a bass that's got a string missing, the reason there's a string missing is because A, the tuner's gone, or B, the saddle's gone, or there's something like that. So somebody's bought new strings for it and then tried to put them on and gone, oh, there's that bit missing. Not on this one. The Ibanez looks interesting. It's got a funny pickup in it. It kind of looks like I'll show you when I get home. I'm not really sure what it is. It's got a three-way switch on it though, I think. Is it a three-way switch? I'm not looking at it while I'm going through Ayr. A really bad roundabout at Ayr. Very difficult to find out which junction to come off at. What am I driving over? I don't even know. Driving over hatched bits there. This must be the car dealer bit. The Complete Stone Roses are playing here somewhere. I used to know the bass player in the Complete Stone Roses back. Lovely guy. He moved to Australia. Something like that. Hello. I doubt very much he watched him. He did used to play the bass though, so maybe he's on. Yeah, so I just done another hour back. Nothing really exciting. It's a pretty. I mean, the problem with coming down here is, I've said this before, bought a few guitars down this way, and why is my sat nav not telling me where to go? Luckily, I'm recognising where I don't really need the sat nav to get back. Assuming I can find the motorway, I'm fine. Yeah, but the thing is, once you kind of left Glasgow, there's just a big rainy open moor bit for about half an hour, so it's whenever you're coming down to here, there's always a big boring bit. Well, and there's no scenery. I suppose sometimes you can see fields, but that's about it. Whereas if you go pretty much in any other direction, you've at least got something to look at, something a bit exciting. But it's night, so I wouldn't be able to see it anyway. There's a lovely beach at Ayr. My pal G nearly killed himself on that beach actually. That sounds like he tried to commit suicide. He didn't, he was trying to do some sort of, we were running up this wall and jumping across a gap just for a laugh waiting to do. I was doing a gig with my band Carnival at the time and we'd set up and then go for a Kokora. So we went down onto the beach and there was this bit and we were just doing, it wasn't a big jump, about a metre or something like that over a sort of walkway. And there we go, yeah, I'll just get a tight left then. And he ran up and tried to, we were just messing about and he slipped right at the wrong moment and nearly, I mean he could have just only fallen like, I don't know, a metre and a half or something like that, but he was straight for his face straight into the other side of the wall. But he recovered just in time. That was funny. I also remember seeing, what was it? It was a guitar shop. I don't imagine, maybe it is still there. It had a really nice white Gibson SG in it. I wonder if it's still there. That would be 20 years ago though, so it's unlikely. Rocking, see you now, go home. Hey, that's me back where we're getting the two basses. Well, I got them last night. I cleaned this one up because I wanted to hear what it sounded like. Put an extra string on it. Only had 3. This is a GAX 150B or GAXB or a GAB. Well, I don't think they made for very long. It's a 32-inch scale, which I like. It does have a bit of chips on it there. So you can see that it's mahogany by the looks of things. So odd looking pickup. And it's got a 3-way switch, which is in the brochure just a tone selector. It's not working. This was missing the output jack, or not the output jack, the nut that was holding on the output jack, so I put that on, plugged it in, it didn't work, and then this was at 11 o'clock last night, so I just gave up on it. It was just basically very dirty. So they actually had 2 of these, and this is the one that I replied to the advert for, and the girl said, oh, I'm sorry, it's sold. The one with the chip's still available though, and it was like, right, and then while I was like, looking at, oh no, there's 3. She had 3 adverts. One of these without this chip in it, one with this chunk out it. So this was actually the one that I'd said I was buying anyway. So I wasn't even aware there was a non-chipped one. So yes, I actually quite like this. It's going to have to get painted. I don't think I want it black. I don't know what to do with it. It's a wee bit like my Hondo bass, like the sort of double cut Les Paul type thing. I do like the 32-inch scale. It is actually quite tempting to paint this Black Sabbathy and use it in the Black Sabbath band, because the 32-inch scale is probably my favourite scale. It's sort of, obviously a short scale's 30 and is normally 30, and then a full scale's 34, so it's kind of in the middle. And it's not in tune, obviously, because I couldn't tune it. So, it's got an interesting bridge as well, a little bit fancy. No, it looks like you can see it's after. Oh, look at the grain in it. It's not the grain. That's just the horrible wood chip wallpaper I've got. That's pink. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. It looks like it used to maybe say something on the poker chip. I don't know what this does. I mean, if it was me putting a 3-way switch onto this, which I'd imagine is a humbucker, it would be single coil, series, and parallel. But who knows what the tone switch is? It might just be caps. Because it doesn't actually have a tone pot. This one. Got a big enough cavity in the back to maybe add in some more knobs just for the sake of it. So that's one of them not working, and then this is the other one, which is you can see that the mank in this. That's how dirty the other one was. This is an Ashton. If you look below the dirt, a sort of, I suppose you say it's a sort of P-bass, maybe more like a sort of Jackson or something like that kind of thing. Wow, look at the flaming in the neck on it. This is the first time we've actually even looked at this. Yeah, but it's the same. There's no output jack, or I'd imagine the output jack's fallen inside it or something. So what to do with this? Don't know. I'm just now sitting there. I'm trying to work out a switch where I can keep it the same way it is, right? But see, I think about this in the shower. That knob's not very well connected out. The electrics have been out this, and someone's not put them in properly. I will be able to make it work. The neck's good. And it's not in tune, but a good clean, and this should be up for something. Being blue, I'm sitting there wondering if I made like an aluminium checker plate, scratch plate of some shape, maybe a sort of Square 51 type affair, and painted it orange. It could be an Irn-Bru base, maybe. But because it's got the output on the bottom, I was thinking I could put an output on the top and do that stereo thing I did with Ivor's bass, but I can't really be bothered sticking another. I don't actually have another pickup that would suit in the neck position. It would be because the thing with Ivor's was he had 2 outputs, so he wanted the Billy Sheehan thing where you've got an EBO pickup coming out one output and then the P-bass pickup coming out another, and I put in an option for a switch which split. Instead of using the EBO pickup, it split this into 2, so one output gave you the top 2 strings and one output gave you the bottom 2 strings. Trying to bend my head around how to do that and make it easy to understand what it is that's going on. You do get, I did buy one time, you know when you've got like a headphone socket on your Ghetto Blaster or your stereo or something, and when you plug the headphones in, it turns off the speakers? I've got some of them, so I'm sitting there wondering if I've got an extra output in the top and you plug one into the top, then it would disconnect one of these coils, which would send it to the other output. But actually thinking about it, that doesn't work. This would be thinking back to when I was in the shower. I can do that, but I wouldn't be able to put them in series. They'd have to be in parallel, which isn't truly P-bass. It'd have to have the proper P-bass sound. So just now I'm trying to bend my head around some way of adding an output and making it so that you can split between them. Just look at the size of the cavity in the back. I could maybe get another knob in there. Wouldn't it be cool if I could get one that was we put a balance pot in as well, so you could kind of go, oh no, that wouldn't work. No, that wouldn't work. Oh, it could work. Yeah, anyway, it's going to be something stupid, but I don't know yet. Just looks like quite a basic. Ashton's actually, I'll talk about this when I do the proper video. Ashton actually went to the Ashton, not the factory. I thought it was a factory, but it wasn't. It was like a sort of showroom / distribution centre type thing in Shenzhen in China, and it was Ashton's they had. They actually had a Telecaster I very nearly bought. The reason I didn't buy it was because the headstock was kind of this shape, which is fine for this, but not what you want a Telecaster. It was an amazing orange colour, I seem to remember. Yeah, so I bought some necks in there. So Ronnie, your neck, the neck that's on the turquoise Strat that I put the old 70s pickups in, you know, the funny shaped ones. That was an Ashton. Well, it was from the Ashton distribution centre. It was unbranded, so I don't know. All those necks, there was something wrong with them. That's why they were cheap, and basically the nut was chipped. So like, you know, oh, broken in the bin. It's like, right. So that's where I got them from. But basically all of them had. It was I think I bought 3 necks, like really figured Strat necks, but the nut was chipped on 2 of them, and one of them had a chip on the head or something, you know, like a cosmetic thing. But they were all good necks. I think I might actually. I think I only brought one of them back. That was the time I was come back from China, and it's like I didn't weigh my suitcase before I came back. So luckily, Civet, who dropped me off at the airport, went to the toilet, and then so I was in the queue, and the guy's like, "Up here, no, you're overweight." And I was like, "Up here, right? Can I pay extra?" No. Right. So basically, and then I was like, "Look, I luckily managed to get Civet to be back from the toilet." So I was like, "Right here." She took one guitar, like, weight not enough. Right, another guitar. Not quite enough. A neck. There we go. And then I think it was 50 kilograms I was allowed. And as soon as I got to sort of 55, the guy's like, "Ah, right, on you go." So, but basically, if Civet hadn't been at the airport, they would have gone in the bin. And it was the guitar I left was a canvas. It was like an Epiphone Les Paul Jr., but it had no cutaway. I had 2 of them, and I left one, and then I took the net. I lost 2 or 3 of the necks, but they would basically have gone in the bin had Civet not been there. When you find out how much I actually paid for those guitars, it was worth the risk. Rock on! Hey YouTube, just in at Blitzkrieg shop there, so I'm just going past the Barras again. It's quite a steep policeman. Yeah, so he's now got the EBO, which I've done a video for but not put it up yet. Probably put it up tonight. And he gave me a left-handed guitar he wants, an Iron Brew built left-handed guitar. Just give me I can do whatever I want with it, sort of thing. Yeah, so I've now got that flying Jackson Flying V to drop off on my way home. Trying to get all these things in as few trips as possible, and I managed to avoid going for a shawarma kebab. I was thinking about it, a shawarma, because it is just round the corner there, and it's like, so I had a roll left, so I had a roll and coconut flour left, so I'm not pure starving. Yeah, what else is new? Not an awful lot. I've got those basses I picked up. I think I'll probably try and get one of them working this afternoon. I kind of want to try that Ibanez one. I want to know what it sounds like. It looked interesting. I keep seeing Ibanez always seem to do 2 different basses. I don't think they do them expensively though, but they always do like a kind of vintage retro type bass. Like as they're sort of, you know, they're cheaper end, they're £150. And the one I've got is like a big GAX shape, which is kind of like a double cut Les Paul shape, but they keep doing them and they're like sort of, you know, I don't really know how to describe them. Nice looking. I think maybe the way looking at them rather than the Sound Gear ones, which are fantastic basses. Even the cheapest one, they're brilliant. They're just ugly as real mingers. I don't have any desire to play them really. I've had a couple in. Yamaha do the same, is it the RBX, which I mean they're fat. I can't fault the bass for the way it plays. They just don't inspire me with the looks. Whereas, you know, just having one, Ibanez have the right idea, making one for somebody like me, where it's kind of, I don't know, they don't exactly look like a P bass, but you know, it's sort of, it looks a bit like one of your, was it your Duesenberg type, going in that sort of direction. You're sort of kind of 70s looking, but a modern, you know, with modern parts on them, not like the ones from the 70s, which were pretty much rubbish. Quite a lot of them. A Talisman or a Jet King or something like that. You know, these sort of things are just kind of, and I bet they're good. Welcome. Hey YouTube, I'm back. So basically, I don't know, 10 minutes cleaning it, and then another 10 minutes messing about with the electrics. So the light's really bad. I don't know, I've obviously not been doing videos at night for ages. I used to be able to do it. I need to set up some lights for that. Normally I'll get daylight, so it's a bit dark. So if you can see it, this is the Ibanez G8XB. Basically cleaned it, put a string on it. The jack socket was on backwards, and because of the way it's wired up, it just buzzed. So basically all I had to do was just swap the wires over on it, and then that was it really. So working, this has a 3-way selector switch, which I was quite interested in. It's not clean yet. It's just, I've still got the compulsion as soon as I put it down to go and wash my hands. It's kind of, but at least I've soapy watered it. It's not pure minging anymore. Not really decided what I'm going to do with this yet. So it's got a 3-way switch on it, which is like, I was quite interested. I thought maybe, I think I said earlier on today, even in the video, I was thinking, maybe it's like a humbucker, so maybe it's like, what I would have done with a 3-way switch was make it, single coil, parallel wired and series wired. But no, it's just a tone, 2 different tone pots on the switch. So it's kind of like a tone full on is one of them. And it's like, to be honest, I think I'd rather just have a tone control. So trust on working, give it a wee bit of a clean, that's really it. Then middle position. And then down position. That seems to be like a boost. So I think down is off and up is maybe like a wee high pass filter. There's like a normal bass tone control cap and a wee stripey thing. Stop me if I'm getting too technical, which I think might be a high pass filter. And I actually got to use this bass string, which I remember when I played bass in my first proper band, Carnival. The bass player, the guitarist used to be a bass player, and his previous band he had like an ice cream tub full of odd strings, and one of those was he had like 2 strings that were still in the packet, like individually sealed ones, and one of them was an E. So that string there is new, but at least 25 years old, but never been out of its packet. It was like a sealed plastic bag, and then these 3 were already on it, so I just gave them a bit of a scrape. I might boil them before I sell it. But I really quite like this bass. What's going to get done with it? I'm thinking a Bucky bass, basically, I think. But as Civet said, probably keep the Ibanez on the headstock, because Ibanez is pretty good. It's a really nice size. Maybe a wee bit neck heavy, but it's not a heavy bass. It's got quite like a high mass bridge. It's got a few chips and chunks out of it. If I saw earlier on, it did have some damage there, and I just coloured it in with a black pen, with a Sharpie. So it's like, that's how you make that not visible from the other side of the stage. So I need to do some research on this model. I don't really know. I've never seen them before. I've seen the guitars before, and I don't think they make expensive versions of the guitar or the bass. I think these are like, I don't know, 150, 200 quid, something like that. And I think the GAX, I think it's called, is the same sort of thing. There is no, it's like with an RG or something, you can go right up to thousands of pounds. I don't think there really is beyond the budget model. I think this is just what it is. I was actually talking in the car, which I'll probably put in. This will be probably quite a chop. This might be quite an interesting video actually. Back to Trade Tuesday. Okay, actually, I don't think my fly's down. No, it's not. Cool. Yeah, but that's what I was saying in the video earlier on, was Ibanez seem to do 2, or at least 2 different types of bass. They do this sort of sound geary one, which is like what I would call a modern shape, even though they kind of, since the 80s, they kind of looked a bit like that. And a sort of vintagey retro type thing. I think that's kind of more of the retro-y one, although quite a lot of the ones I've seen is that a Talman. I saw one when I was in Merchant City with Scott a couple of weeks ago. So, and here is the Ashton, which you can't really see because of the light in here, which is blue. I noticed actually when I was cleaning it, like I totally cleaned it, and I actually went, oh, I made that noise even though I'm in here on my own, because it's actually got a tuner built into it. So if you it just takes AAA batteries. How does it turn it on? Then you turn it on, and then you got the thing is, it's got like a wee screen. It's a chromatic tuner, right? And it's got a wee calculator type screen on it. So you're kind of straining to see which string it's going to, and then it's like, okay, it's fine. I can see it's an A. I've got the red. I've got the red. I've got the red. I'm turning the right thing, and then it's like the blue one is like a super laser. So it's like you're kind of straining to see it, and then it's just like eyeball piercing. You see how light bright it is there. So not the best design, but I mean, and the output jack on this one was gone as well. It just needed a bolt on it. Someone's picked these up as a project somewhere from a school, I think, or something like that, and then they've had a wee go at trying to fix it and realised that actually they don't know how to fix it, so they're kind of a little bit messed up. So we're on. But I mean, it's totally fine. It's like, I can't believe the price. I kind of don't want to tell you how much I paid for these, but I mean, at this sort of price, getting a guitar that you can play with just a clean, I'm not counting that, and 10 minutes maximum of knowing what you're doing, even adjusted the truss rod this. The foam that holds up the P-bass pickups are normally screwed into the wood and there's a block of foam. I think the foam's gone in below it because the pickups are very, very low in the body. They need to come up about a good 5mm, and then when you push them down, the pickup goes down and the screws stay where they are, so it's like a wee bit of fettling to go. I don't think there's really any point in trying to show you you're not really seeing the flame going down this side is pure, more here, but I can't even get the angle right. It's really flamey. I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. I know a lot of people are going, oh, look at the flame in that, isn't it lovely? And it's like, yeah, but also this kind of piece of wood was maybe rejected by some of the better factories because it's too flamey. Because obviously if you've got knots and stuff in it, it's got more chance to warp. No, it doesn't have any knots in it. It's just very flamey. Decent tuners on both these guitars. Decent. P-bass is like your Telecaster, isn't it? You put the neck on, you make it out of a decent piece of wood. You put the P-bass pick up here. You put this on in line and you make it the right distance, and you've got a decent bass. I would have no problem learning to play the bass on this or playing it at a jam. Or so I'm thinking with this one, it's blue, so I was thinking I might make a scratch plate for this out of the aluminium checker plate, paint it orange, just to give it some sort of character. It's kind of maybe a bit like so it's kind of weird having the shorter headstock, you know, like the four-side headstock rather than a P-bass headstock. Really, the headstock's that bad. Kind of suits fine well. You can hardly read what it says the brand. It's really dark. It's actually got quite a nice piece of wood on it. I think if I should look at it with the light shining off it, if it was daytime, it is like quite a nice looking piece of wood. It's not solid blue, I don't think, unless it's just dirt. So I was thinking, you know, if being like a Jackson or something, it actually doesn't look unlike my Aria Pro kind of going in. This is a wee bit rounder. It's kind of not entirely dissimilar to that, you know, basically just because it's a sort of slightly extended horn P-bass with no scratch plate. But so maybe I was thinking maybe see like a Squire 51 scratch plate in orange, something like that might look pretty cool. And then a white pickup, or white pickup covers. Also, I was trying to work out a way of doing the stereo thing. I still might do it. What I really need to do the stereo thing is just to do the same thing as I did with Ivers, but I need a neck pickup for it. I do have a PV one, but I kind of want to use it for something special, so I'm not sure about it. I noticed someone was selling a Harley Benton P-bass, original P-bass pickup, you know, the one that's basically a single coil with the 4 poles in it. One of them on Gumtree for 20 quid, and it's like, I don't feel like I paid 20 quid for it. I'm pretty sure I saw them like on eBay China and they were really cheap, so maybe one of them which would give me that thing what Ivers has done, although he's got an EBO pickup. I don't think you can get like a cheap EBO pickup. I think the only EBO pickup you can get is that Artec one, which is like 30 quid or something like that, and it's like, if I'm selling an Iron Brew bass, I kind of don't want to be spending £30 on any bits of it if I can avoid it. Like I can get it for a tenner, a bit more like it. Means I can sell it for 20 quid less, do you know what I mean? But I mean, fine bass. The tuner tunes the A, D and G strings fine, but like all cheap tuners, basically it kind of struggles a bit with the E. It kind of works if you're in tune, but basically you really want to know what you're doing, so you can get the A string all right, and then you hold it, and then you tune this till it's approximately there. Then just use the tuner for fine tuning. It is responded to it. You can see it there. It's quite cool. I wonder how it actually works. Kind of. If it hadn't worked, I would have taken it out. I don't know if I'll bother taking it. Well, if I'm going to paint it, I'm not going to paint it. I don't know. It's kind of. I imagine there must be some sort of piezo. So maybe just got a mic in it that picks up the vibration of the body of the guitar. I don't know. I mean, it's a chromatic tuner, so it's like it probably. I'd imagine it's actually Ashton branded, so I'd imagine you can probably buy acoustics. Well, maybe not acoustics. You can probably buy electric guitars that have got the same tuner in it, or violins, or whatever, because it is chromatic. So I did put it in as Trade Tuesday because I'm trading, but I think I'm going to modify both of these. You might be able to get in first if there's something. Today is Thursday, so by Tuesday I may have actually done something with these. But I mean, it's just like there's not really anything wrong with these. I just know that I can get more for it if I mod it up. It's totally fine. Like if you're recording at home or something, you don't need anything better than this. This one I thought was a wee bit of a risk because I don't know the brand Ashton, even though I actually went to the Ashton factory. I wasn't sure. I'm pretty sure I've had an Ashton before. It was terrible, but well, have I? I don't think I have actually. I think the Ashton I had before was just a neck, and I put it on the original Super Star Destroyer, which you've never seen. I think there might be a video of it. I think there is a video on YouTube. It was green with white pickups, and it had an Ashton Strat neck and I think it was an Encore P-Bass neck, and the whole thing worked. And I was like, you're right. I built it relatively simple. I basically just jigsawed it out so it was kind of sharp around the edges, and then because it worked so well, I thought I'm going to make another one. So that's the Super Star Destroyer Mark II, which is the one that sometimes hangs up there. Basically it's just a refined one, and I used a Yamaha neck and a Washburn bass. So I just used more expensive stuff and spent ages sanding the thing to make it a bit more streamlined, rather than just painting it green. So I don't know how long this video is going to end up, but rock on, catch you later.